Welcome back to Arcturian Philosophy. Today I'm going to make another video about the corruption of Ibogaine. My first video was done during a period of time where I was in danger for my life, so it was not done in a very succinct fashion. I will be redoing that now that I am not in immediate danger. I am an Ibogaine provider, or I was an Ibogaine provider, but my message here is to say to the community that kicked me out, you can't kick me out that easily. I was an Ibogaine provider, and I am not shy about saying that I'm a very, very good Ibogaine provider. It was recognized by some of the best producers in the world that I was a top-notch Ibogaine provider. Now, you might be thinking, why did you lose your job? Why did you get kicked out? I wouldn't sell my soul to Lucifer. That's why. Yeah. You want to know some secrets behind Ibogaine? Ibogaine is controlled by aliens. Yes, Ibogaine is controlled by reptilians and greys. The person who I thought I was talking to for 4 years straight, a main producer who goes by Marco, it turned out that he was really a human being controlled by a gray alien. So I was essentially talking to a gray alien through an Indian man's human filter. That came as quite a shock, and yeah, I'm saying this. I went to a conference in 2014 in South Africa, in Durban, South Africa, because I was going to accept a job as a chemist, and that's pretty much as high as you can go in Ibogaine. When you get to the production level where you're producing the medicine, that's pretty high up. And because I got that high up, I was accosted, and I was told basically, you have to sell your soul to Lucifer, or you're going to get kicked out of the industry, and we're going to kill you and use a clone of you. That was what was in an email. That I have that in an email, that we're going to use a clone of you. The email read something like, "Oh well, Krista, she had some trouble for a while. She relapsed, but then she was doing really well," and that would be like the clone. They wanted to fake my death as a heroin overdose, and because I was clean, I was so angry that they dare say fake my death as a heroin overdose. It did not, that did not go over well with me. I'm talking about supernatural forces here, demonic forces at work. And what Howard Lotsoff told me after his death was that Ibogaine was being used to brainwash people, and that he had been going along with everything that he had been told by his friends, by Bob Sisko. Sisko, you're a pervert. I'm going to say that in public. Dana Beal. Dana, you are a little bit more clear if you're not smoking pot, so good job. Except that Vermont thing, no. And actually, before I continue, in the Ibogaine community, it's often said, why don't you go directly to the person and bring up your problem? Well, if you do that, nothing gets done. Especially if it's me, because I'm a whistleblower. One thing I can also tell you about Ibogaine is that if you go to Mexico, you will be screwed. That's not 100% certainty, but it is like a 80-90% certainty. If you go to Mexico, you will be financially screwed, and you will not be given a correct dose. You'll be with people that are inexperienced, that don't understand medications, that don't know what to do, that don't have any experience or formal training in psychology like I do. I've basically had to retreat people who emailed me first and said, "Oh, can you treat me?" I give them details, and they go to Mexico. Then they come back and email me and said, "Oh, I should have gone to you. Can you fix what they did?" That would be a very common event back before I was kicked out of the industry. But I have some news. I'm coming back into the industry, and you can't stop me. That's because I am a master manifester. A master manifester is someone who, using their will, creates a frequency that is so powerful that that the law of attraction works very powerfully, and the two frequencies must match. So the law of attraction states that only two similar frequencies may share the same space. So if I put off a frequency that says I will be an Ibogaine provider no matter what, along with some other techniques, then it will happen. That's simply how it works. The law of attraction literally works like gravity. So if you guys think you can keep me out of this, Claire Wilkins, Jonathan Dickinson, Eric Taub, all of you people, Rocky Caravelli, and I hate to say it, Chris Jenks, and Patrick, dude, when are you gonna talk to me? Come on, man, this is like fucking stupid. And that's like how I normally talk, man. So, also, you are an Arcturian, please. And I know Marco, like, you know, so, like, get on the ball. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Get on the ball, because the squabbles in the Ibogaine community, what is so funny about this is that the squabbles in the Ibogaine community over anything is irrelevant to the situation that we have going on the planet, which is a cabal trying to take over the entire world. You've heard of the Illuminati, some of you people. Well, it's real. And I had to go on the run from it. I had to actually escape my state in order to run away from what was being done to me, which was initiated by people in the Ibogaine community, ironically. Because when you get up to those high levels, you are possessed by Lucifer, you're possessed by reptilians. Josie, should I say this, Josie? Yeah, Josie and Patrick know each other. You guys, so everyone who's followed me, you're not like a new person watching me. Everyone who's followed me, you know Josie. Josie and Patrick know each other. What happened was, like, Josie had taken over Patrick sort of like as a handler, I think. And then she saw me and was like, "You're so intriguing," and then like came to me. That's like what happened there. So I'm like, but there's nobody who can keep me out of Ibogaine. This sounds very angry and ranting. That's because it is. The names that I stated were all different people who tried to deliberately undermine me. So I went to a conference in 2014 where I was going to accept a job as a chemist. The men would not speak to me because I was a woman. I couldn't really deal with the racism and the fluoridization in South Africa. And I was going to give a presentation, a very good one at that, actually. And I paid $100. I was fed some bullshit by Jonathan Dickinson that, we'll move your presentation to tomorrow. And I said, no, I paid for this slot. I want it. No, it's going to be today. He and Jonathan Dickinson and Claire Wilkins, who are famous names in the Ibogaine community, if you're new to this, came over to me and said, It's not your decision. Now, what you might be wondering, what could I have done to make all these people mad at me? I exposed their corruption. That's what I did. They're trying to monopolize Ibogaine. You see, this is tied into the cabal, the Illuminati cabal. Ibogaine is a deprogramming weapon. Programming is mind control, which is what is enacted by the Illuminati on people, on targets such as myself, people that become targets like me. And Ibogaine is a literal antidote. It breaks programming. You practically don't even. It's like for Ibogaine providers watching this who are wanting to flip me off. You can break programming with Ibogaine just by giving it to someone and sitting there. You don't even have to know anything. You can be doing it like a heroin detox, literally not know a damn thing, and just give a person a pill and then they're fixed. It's that strong that it can do that. And so, obviously the ETs involved catch on to this. So they think, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to monopolize it. That way, we control it so that all the light workers, they have to come to us for this. And that was what Jonathan presented at the conference in 2014, and I was disgusted. I thought, oh my God, you are trying to monopolize the iboga tree. You are monopolizing the iboga tree. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's horrifying. But one thing that was interesting was that also, to further the prejudice that they had against me, for really no apparent reason other than my exposing the corruption in Mexico, that seemed to be the only wrong that I'd committed. I exposed corruption in Mexico. Like I said, 80% of the time you'll probably get screwed in Mexico. Well, they didn't like that because they worked in Mexico. So that was part of the problem I believe they had. Panelists went up to speak, of which I was supposed to be one of them. And when I went to ask a question, they cut my mic. And I was asking a very good question. I was the only person at the entire conference dressed in business attire, which shocks me. Really, it shocked me. I was the only person who was dressed up in a tailored business suit. And they tried to tell me that we're going to literally kick you out of the conference. Not only that, Anwar Jiwa tried to, he's a producer in South Africa, in Durban, tried to trap me in a room for up to 16 hours. Literally locked me in a room for up to 16 hours. Because he was, this is sort of fun. As an indigo, this is fun because he was scared of me for whatever reason. Or didn't want me finding out his secrets. Actually it doesn't matter now because I am getting back into this whether you guys like it or not. So you can have your thing, I'm going to have my thing. And I don't want to be on the Ibogaine list, but Patrick, what the fuck? Like, seriously, I'm gonna put this on YouTube and people are gonna be telling you, hey, dude, Krista's gone, ballistic, man. Dude, hey, I got some really great pot over there, though. You're like, damn it, we should smoke. People might wonder, what is your thing with Patrick? It's because I know him. He's an Arcturian. I know him from somewhere. Like from a ship. Okay, Mr. Dune fan? Yeah. Dune fan? Yeah, I know you from, spaceship shit. Okay? And women, Dune fan, women are the energetic masters, or not masters, but the energetic superiors. So I'm pretty damn sure that is correct. Yeah, I understand if you're in kind of some situations, because trust me, I went through almost dying total fucking hell. But hey, if you do really like the song Ghost by Ella Henderson, thank you so fucking much. And if you do actually like the La Belle mixtape on YouTube, thank you so fucking much, man, because that saved my ass. Oh my god. I'm talking about when I was being attacked after I was kicked out of Ibogaine for not selling my soul. So yes, don't advice, kids, don't sell your soul. Now, picking an Ibogaine provider, let's talk about that. You can technically go to Mexico. I have heard that in Baja California you can get some competent people. In general, like what will happen, what we've seen happen repeatedly is places will open up in Mexico under a certain name, drain people of money and fuck them over until they get known about. Then they close and then reopen under a different name and then just keep doing it to people. I know of like instances where people got sprained ankles with no medical treatment. You see, what they're counting on is they're counting on you're in a foreign country, you don't speak the language. Most of these places, the complaints have been there are no food, there are no plates, there are broken plates. There's like literally the complaint has been no food actually. And that is very serious because Ibogaine keeps you like in a state where you feel like you can't eat. And most people have to be coerced to eat, especially if they are very skinny or amphetamine addicts or something like that. So when you're picking an Ibogaine provider, I would say honestly, stay within the U.S. Now with South Africa, I don't want to diss South Africa providers. I don't want to, I don't want to offend the providers in South Africa. But the country of South Africa is so energetically polluted that I would not advise going there. It's already a major problem that most of our Ibogaine is produced in South Africa, where the water is completely fluoridated. You cannot buy any kind of water with no fluoride in it. They act like it's a natural component in the water and have fooled the entire population into thinking that it's naturally occurring or something. So I do not really suggest South Africa, just because of the climate in South Africa. You can get robbed, especially if you're a person under the influence of Ibogaine and have taken it within a week's time, and you go outside of whatever house you're inside of, you can get robbed, you can get stabbed, like what happened to the chemist's wife the third day I got there. It's very kind of dangerous, honestly. So I don't really recommend South Africa just for that reason, not because the providers are bad. Though I can say that Anwar had no idea of what he was really doing when he was like treating people. I had people coming up to me asking me for help because they were saying, I'm detoxing from benzos, I'm detoxing from this. I've asked for help. There would be people standing around who would be like the people working there or whatever, and they wouldn't do anything. They would just freaking stand there. And so I went up to somebody and I said, hey, where's your blood pressure cuff? And they didn't know. And taking vital signs. It's a standard sort of thing that anyone in any kind of real clinic where they claim to have medical care, taking your vital signs is a pretty important thing, or normal basic thing that you can do. And I would receive like this just look, no response. And I was actually I watched people leave because their detoxes were failing. There was one girl who was detoxing from benzos, and she seemed like she was from England, something like that, and or it could have been a South African accent because I get them confused. and her mom showed up, and I looked at my bag and I thought, oh my God, I have everything in that bag to help this girl and do it. I've done benzos before successfully. And I thought, oh God, and I can't even help her because I'm at his clinic. I don't work at the clinic, and I'm the only person that has any freaking idea what to do. Also, I will address this on camera. With Rachel. Hey, Rachel, thank you for what you threw at me on the balcony with Josie and stuff. That was really weird how you knew about Josie. That was really freaking weird, too. But I threw that away. Like, I didn't, do anything with that. I did what was correct. I did the absolute best thing you could have done in that situation. And the problem is that your mom, Dana, you didn't know what a person under Ibogaine is supposed to look like, and moms are not allowed in a treatment scenario. That is the rule number one. Mothers are not allowed because mothers see their children and they react like it's their little infant. It's a maternal reaction. And I did not do anything wrong. I did the best thing that could have been done. And also, I didn't exactly barge in. I was woken up and asked, can you help? Because no one else knows what to do. So take that into account as well. One thing about South Africa that may have distorted some people's beliefs about me is, you see, South Africa is also, the one reason I don't recommend South Africa is because it is blasted by HAARP. Or electromagnetic low frequency. Just look up HAARP, that's HAARP, if you don't know what it is. And it was targeting the entire region. So the entire region was being blasted with low frequency. And because I am more sensitive, I could feel the frequency waves hitting me on my skin. And it would create a perpetual feeling of either depression, anger, disease, irritability. It would affect everybody. And I tried to explain to people, this is why you feel this way. This is what's going on. But I believe now everyone knew that I was right, but they were trying to keep up their guise and not let me know that they were in on the whole act. So it's very sad. It really is. So the main points that you need to know. Ibogaine is controlled by reptilians and greys at the top. In Mexico, there is rampant corruption. You don't want to go there. I'm not going to advertise myself here because I know when I play this video back to myself, I'm going to see myself and think, that's that indigo fire coming back. For my friend Kat. We were talking about this, how I become so mellow in the videos. Well, this particular topic, this brings back that roar out of me because it's a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. Aside from Agenda 21, August 21st, 2014, the other day that changed my life was August 5th, 2008, when I was first administered Ibogaine. And I take it very seriously. And to see what's going on, also, I won't say this, but someone talked to me. I won't really say who. Someone who I wouldn't normally talked to me and said, it's gonna be a big scandal when this comes out, when stuff comes out about how Ibogaine started, and all of this stuff, and the person would not tell me anything about it, but they were very distraught over how everything was apparently going to crumble upon itself. And I believe it probably has. I'm willing to bet that things are just not going well for all the people that I used to know. People that I've detracted focus from, because whatever I focus on, see, I'm a master manifester, so whatever I focus on increases. That can be a business. Like I can increase a business or stop a business. I found, or I can increase the success of someone by focusing on them. And I'm willing to bet things are just the same as they were before, which was bad for who I used to know before. But the good thing about Ibogaine is that there are always new people. I'm talking about the older people, back when Howard Lotsoff was alive. And I'm on the cusp of those older generation people who knew about different things, who were pioneers. It just makes me very, very sad that I have to be doing this. Well, you think you don't have to be doing this. Well, yes, I do, because you are likely to go to an Ibogaine provider and get totally screwed and have your life energy fed upon. Reptilians feed upon your energy, and it seems like that's what they're doing. So I would suggest you really, really, take a look at people before you go to see them, that also you can ask for testimonials. One thing though is that a lot of testimonials can be faked. That's a problem. So I believe that concludes this portion. I might have a series about this because I really want to make it clear. I'm getting back into the industry because I'm not going to be stuck not making any money and asking people. Let's take off my headpiece. I'm not going to be stuck asking people for money because I was kicked out of my job for not wanting to sell my soul to Lucifer. That's nonsense. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my job back, and you're gonna watch me. So, to all the Ibonauts and soon-to-be Ibonauts and people who just follow me now, I bid you adieu. I would speak some Arcturian like I've been doing in the videos now, but that wouldn't make sense to a greater audience, so I won't do that. And again, please, Arcturian Patrick, whatever, man. Bummer. I will talk to you later on Arcturian philosophy with more about the Ibogaine community.